Now, a very interesting thing we are going to read and learn what that passage wants to tell us. It is completely about the practice. Why I said that is, children are supposed to mock the elders, copycat. If father, if he whistles, the son will also start whistling. Whistling I am talking about. And remaining all, how he smiles, how he laughs, and how he walks, if at all we observe, many of the features of the elderly people, the younger people, they copy. So, we have seen the importance of biographical sketch, biography, autobiography. Why this? I already told you that we copy, we repeat the same thing as they have done, or whatever they have done, we learn something and we follow it. So likewise, how this has come into the children, this is innate quality of the children. Innate means it is there in them from the birth. What is the one? To copy others. How it has come? Almost every animal, it has that tendency. What is the one? To copy, to follow, to do the same thing as elders do. So now the human being, slowly he is neglecting that tendency, that character. Why? Because he is again, what I can say is influenced by the other thing, his own ego. Why I should copy him? Why I should be like him? And I asked many of the students, what you would become? What would you like to become? Then I want to become Sachin Tendulkar. You see, he did not say, I want to become a batsman or super batsman like Sachin Tendulkar. He says, I want to become Sachin Tendulkar. See to it. That is innate. It is there in the birth itself. But in between something comes is ego. Why I should be like that? Why I should not have my own thing? Then there he gets stuck for some time. And then he becomes slow. The copying tendency is there from the birth, and if at all he pushes his ego into this copying tendency, his learning process becomes slow, falls slow. Means what? He has to copy. And if at all he has to copy, and the elders, the teachers, whosoever are there, they are to remind him the same tendency once again. If that is reminded to him again, he remembers it. Yes, why I am like this? Why I should not be like that? Why I should not be like my teacher? Why I should not be like my mother? Why I should not be like my uncle? Why I should not be like my father or grandfather? Again he goes there. Then he practices it. Now, the hierarchical things what we see here is an actor's son is becoming an actor. A director's son is becoming a director. A musician's son is becoming a musician. That is, he has some interest for the music and he is following the trade, the same trade of his family continuing. And a businessman's son is doing business. And maybe there is 1 out of 100 going out of the way. But the copying tendency is there with us. Now, how it is proved out, how it has come to. Let us see. The story talks about a pelican watch. That is, the birds, they are very strict on their offsprings. Very strict. very disciplined. He has to do means he has to do it, that's all. No matter of pity, no question of sympathy. And so we say in education also we should not show sympathy, no love, no affection. Unless he finishes, I don't give you food. Unless you finish this, you are not entertained to watch the TV. Stop certain thing. Threaten him for certain thing. That should be there. We should not show any kind of sympathy or affection when it comes to learning. That is what we are going to learn out of this lesson. So how it occurs, let us see. Here under D10 we have a reading passage, and after reading it, let us have the discussion. Have a class discussion on the great lesson that human beings can learn from Papa Pelican. Now you see how, what we can say, reluctant the father Pelican for its offspring. One day, my father took me fishing with him. Took me fishing with him. Took me to the fishing. That to and the can be eliminated, not necessary. So here you can see, one day my father took me fishing with him. I told him that I wasn't ready to use my own fishing pole yet. Fishing pole, the rod and the thread, a hook and a worm we have to keep. This is what is the fishing practice, right? The kid is not ready to use his own pole, means he doesn't know how to put it all the, or he doesn't want to use it whatsoever. But he brought 2 fishing poles anyway. I sat in the boat and watched the sea birds as my father untied the fishing boat from the dock and started up the motor. Fishing boat, a small boat will be there, equipped with motor. It need not to be rowed. And when the water is still there, the boat can be, motor can be stopped, and you can sit on the boat and you can fish. And you don't find any fish over there, again row from there by the motor, go somewhere, there again you stop the motor, and in the still water you can wait. That is motorized fishing boat. So his father loosened this motor boat, and both were in the boat, and they were going to started the motor and they were going to the still waters. And meanwhile the son was watching the sea birds. What is there to see the sea birds? There is much in it. What kind of birds are those funny ones with the tiny heads and fat bodies? I asked, pointed 2 birds not far from us. There are 2 birds, a pair of birds are over there. How are they? They have the tiny head, a beak, a long beak, and a bag-like structure under that beak, and the body is fat again. So that kind of birds were 2, and I asked my father, what kind of birds are these? Right? So we can understand that son doesn't know what kind of bird is it. My father looked up and said, they are pelicans. They are pelicans there. Right? And if you want to see the pelicans, the GSMC had put 2 to 3 pelicans over there in the Madhipatnam crossroad. Not pelican, real ones, they are replicas of pelicans there. Right? Red body will be there, and a beak underneath the bag-like structure, and a beak, long beak, small head, and a very fat body. They can fly. Very long legs will also be there. The little one looks angry. It keeps flapping its wings at the big one. Why the younger one, the small one, why it is angry? Looking angry, very angry it is. Why? And moreover, it is flapping its wings angrily to the bigger one. Why? My father said, looks like the big one with the yellow feathers around his eyes is the papa. That little one with the grey and white wing feathers must be his baby. This baby wants to sit with him on his post. So, see, very clear. The bigger one and having the white feathers around its eyes, it is the maybe papa, the bigger one, the father. And the other one smaller with the white wings and grey hair around the eyes, it is supposed to be the baby, the son. And the father doesn't like the baby to sit on its pole. Right? A pole is there. There the papa sits, and the papa doesn't like the baby to sit along with it. And that appears there is a hitch between the father and the baby or the son. But he won't let her, I said, as I pointed out how the papa pelican kept pushing the baby pelican off the post. But it is the troublemaker is the papa, you see. It is not the baby. Papa is not allowing, the father is not allowing the baby pelican to sit along with it. Why it should do like that? Oh, look, my father said, Papa's going to dive for a fish. There he goes. Papa is G-O-N-N-A has been written over there. It is going to. Gonna. That way we have to read. How to read it? Let me tell you. How? Oh, look. My father said, Papa's gonna dive for a fish. There he goes. Going to dive for a fish. There he goes. You see, he is going to dive and catch a fish. Go, baby pelican, I laughed. She has nabbed the post. Dad, now I wanted the baby pelican to go onto the papa's place. Now it is vacant. Papa is not there, father is not there. So I want the baby pelican to sit over there. So I shouted at the pelican, go, go, go take your papa's place. And I told my father, Dad, you see, he is taking the nab at the post. He has taken the post now. Not for long. The baby must have taken over the post where the father is not there. It is not for long, you see. My father replied with a cool smile playing on his lips. Cool smile playing on his lips. Not for long. That is it. Means the smile should tell the expression. Sure enough, Papa Pelican came up with a fish in his mouth. He flew to his messy post, pushed off baby pelican, and swallowed the fish. See to it. The fathers, they earn, they bring, they feed the children. The children never feel that they are dependent. They do all nonsense because father is there. Right? If father says, beta, you go out and try to earn, you must have read about a story in Hindi, Athanni. Right? The father, he wanted his son to earn because the son was very arrogant and very prodigal. So father wanted to earn something and bring by evening. If not, he will not be served with the dinner. And the son goes weeping to his mother and asks the mother. Mother gives him a 1 rupee coin, a very new one, brand new. And the son in the evening, he places this coin into his father's hand. Father says, beta, you throw it into the well and come, then you will have your dinner. So the beta rushed to the well and he threw the coin into the well and comes. Then father said, today I am giving you food and this 1 rupee you did not earn. Sure enough, Papa Pelican came up with a fish in his mouth. he flew to his messy post, pushed off baby pelican and swallowed the fish. That means the papa pelican is acting as if it doesn't like the baby pelican. Means completely neglecting it. Go to hell. It pushed it down, and whatever the fish it brought, it had swallowed it without sharing even a piece to the baby pelican. That we have to just note it. And now, in the earlier paragraph, in the earlier dialogue, the father said, "Oh, look, my father said." My father said, "Papa's going to dive for a fish." There he goes. "Go, baby pelican." I laughed. "She has nabbed the post, Dad." "Not for long," my father replied with a cool smile playing on his lips. Smile, does it play? No. Then, does it run? No. But we can say a cool smile runs through his lips, runs on his lips, escapes through his lips. What is this? It is a literary device. To make our language beautiful, we use some figure of speech. Here the lips, these are not individuals. These are not human beings. But even then, a human character has been conferred on these lips. What is it one? Playing. Playing what? The smile. The smile is also not human being. On smile, we have conferred this human character that is playing. So here we can say the device used is personification. Once again I will read it. Cool smile playing on his lips. Smile cannot play, but smile has been conferred with human character playing, and so here it is a personification. And these three comes under conversation, a dialogue. Because this is also a gimmick, we can say, or a device which brings out interest for the reader to read. Alice in the Wonderland, if you read about that, in that Alice feels what is the fun in that book which doesn't have either a dialogue or a picture, she says. Right? Means a book should contain the pictures and dialogues to make it more interesting. It is also literary device. So here it is conversation and personification has been put here. That's not fair, I said, because I have seen the parent, the father bird, pushing away the baby bird and eating away, swallowing away the complete fish, even putting even a small piece to the baby. It has eaten everything. I commented, it is not fair. Papa Pelican should share his post with his baby and give her some of his fish. Some of the food it should have given. It should have shared the place with the baby. What is this? It is not fair. I don't know about that. My father said, I don't know about that. No, I don't know. My father said, we watched Papa Pelican dive into the water 2 more times, coming each time to knock his daughter off the post. 2 times it went, 2 times it dived, 2 times it caught a fish and came back and kicked the daughter, baby pelican, from on the post and sat there, swallowed the fish. 2 times we have observed, 2 more times. Come on, Dad, let's go, I said. I have seen enough. Because I don't like this kind of a what we can say, behavior of the father which has been given to the baby. I don't like it. So I said, come on, my daddy, let us go. I have seen enough. I don't want to watch it further. No, wait. My father insisted. My father insisted, compelled. Let us wait and see. He wanted to see further, or he wanted to show me further. Just a little longer. Let us see further, a little longer now. The next time Papa Pelican dove, he came up with a fish, but he did not take it back to his own post. Instead, he put it on another post. Then he flew back to his own post and knocked his daughter off. Now, earlier 2 times or 3 times, the Papa Pelican dived into the water, it caught a fish, came out of the water, and directly dashed to the pole, and from there it pushed the daughter Pelican. Now, for the 4th time, it dived again, caught a fish. Instead of going directly to its own post, it did not go there. It went to the other post. There it kept the fish and came back here and pushed the daughter Pelican from his own place. He wants her to go to the other post, my dad said. On the other post, what is there? The fish is there. So, keeping the fish as a bite, the father pelican wanted the baby pelican to go over there. Baby pelican flew around for a moment as if she was confused, but the smell of the fish must have caught her attention because she eventually landed on the other post and swallowed the food. Now, the confused baby pelican, it has fallen down and again recovered itself and flew few more times around the father and the pole. Then, being attracted by the fish smell, it goes to its own post, finds the fish over there and sits over the post and eats the fish, eats the food. Now, Papa Pelican dove again, brought up a fish and ate it. Baby Pelican squawked loudly. Papa Pelican dove a couple more times to catch a few more fish for himself. Each time, Baby Pelican squawked louder. Just get your own fish then, baby, I yelled to her. You can do it. The 4th time Papa Pelican dove, Baby Pelican copied him. Papa came up with a fish in his mouth, so did Baby Pelican. They both went to their own posts and swallowed their food. Baby Pelican cooed and Papa Pelican flew close to her so he could touch her with his long beak as if he were kissing her. See, Papa Pelican, when the Baby Pelican was watching, it dived into the water 3 more times and each time it got a fish and swallowed it. And then Baby Pelican from here it is quacking, oh, I want the food, I want the food, I want the food. But Papa did not heed to its request, no. And all along it was diving and getting the fish. And I am watching from here from the boat. And I encourage the Baby Pelican, hey, you can dive yourself and get your own fish. Go, dive. That way I encourage the fish. Encourage the pelican. Now, when the Papa Pelican was just diving for the 4th time, the baby also dived into the water. Papa Pelican came out with a fish and Baby Pelican also came out with its own catch. Both sat on their posts and swallowed. Now the wonder. What is that one? Papa Pelican goes to the Baby Pelican's post. It sat alongside and it touched its head as if it is kissing with its long beak. Means what? Recognition. We all crave for recognition. Whatever we do, it has to be recognized by the other. Then we repeat it, we repeat it, we repeat it. That brings the practice. On practicing, we become masters over there, perfect over there. You see the chain. First of all, we don't try. We want our share. It is being given. Then we have been shown how to work, how to work, how to work. Then we work. We come out successfully. We feel, yes, I am successful. Our simple feeling of we are successful will not do. Then there should be an encouragement. There should be an appraisal, right? And a recognition is required. Then we are the masters, right? That is what has been shown by the Papa Pelican and baby Pelican over there to the kid over here in the boat, who said, I am not yet ready to use my pole in the beginning, right? So here, he taught her how to fish. I gasped with a wonder. Gasping is with wonder, surprise, amazement. I said, oh, Papa, see, the Papa Pelican is successful in teaching the baby Pelican how to fish. Incredible. Incredible means we cannot simply what? Feel it as if it is true. Incredible. We cannot simply feel it to be true. Incredible, the meaning of it. My father said, watching all that fish eating has made me hungry. Oh, now the pelican is a very, what we can say, very miserly, very greedy. It is catching its own fish and it is swallowing. Now the baby started. It is also catching fish, it is also eating. So if both of them are catching fish, why should not we? I am also feeling hungry. Let me also catch some fish. Father said, yeah, I agreed. Yeah, let us do it. After a short while, we found a cove, C-O-V-E, cove. Means a place under the trees, water is there, stagnated water, there is no movement. There we can put the boat, and that kind of a water body is called as cove. And so now, after a short while, we found a cove where the water was calm. I already told you. My father put bait. Bait means the worm which we affix to the hook of the fishing rod. So, he put the bait on a hook and handed the pole to me. He wanted to hand me that pole. Then what I said? No thanks, Dad. I said, pushing the pole back towards him. You take it. I don't want it. Father was amazed. What is this again? Don't you want to fish it? I thought you wanted to fish today. My father said, I do. I said, I just want to do it with my own pole, in my own way. With my own pole, in my own way. So, my father grinned. Now, he did not smile, he grinned. Means what? My son has become bold enough to catch the fish with his own pole, with his own rod. That is called grinning here, right? The grin can be of two types. One is to criticize others or mock others or teach others. One is grinning is with happiness to pass on the appraisal. That kind of a grinning his father has done. Yes, you are capable enough to catch now. My father grinned. It's about time. He leaned over, hugged me, and messed up my hair. Messing up hair, we put the hand on the head of the child, and so we simply just make the hair somewhat, some clumsy we make it. That is out of affection. It is not that we are punishing him. Right? And the baby too understands. Yeah, my father has given me appraisal. That is what we do like this. So, and messed up my hair. Do you want to put up worm on too? Do you want to put the worm up on this hook even by yourself? Why? The worm, earthworm is there, no? It is very difficult to even to catch it. And certain people may grow or cultivate some kind of a hatred for the worm because it is very slippery and sticky. People may not go for it. And so father asked, do you want to put the worm also by yourself? Affix the worm. I looked at the tub of worms. Well, actually, I think I will let you handle that. When I have seen the tub of the worms, what I said is, better you fix it. Because still that did not go out of my mind. What is that one? The sticky or slippery worm, and which I don't want to touch it. So the two of us fished side by side all afternoon. Each time I caught a fish all by myself with my own pole, I wanted to cheer. And every time there was cause to cheer, my father would lean over and kiss me on the head. Whenever I caught a fish, whenever I removed it from the hook, my father used to give me a kiss on my head. That means what? That is immediate appraisal. That is what needed for the children. Immediately you have to recognize whether he does a good thing or a bad thing. Give an appraisal. Let him understand later that this is bad, you should not repeat. And then you should appraise this and you should encourage him to do this whenever he does a good thing. That is the fatherly job over there. Once again, let us recognize what the baby does immediately. Even if we ignore, then again the same thing repeated. What is that repeated? That is, we ignore how did the baby got that 1 rupee. And when I asked him to throw it in the well, right, he threw and come back. Okay, let him take the food. No, I have recognized he earned 1 rupee. But how did he learn? That I am to condemn. Then the fellow, the rich man, asked, the businessman asked his wife, you see, hereinafter you are not giving money. If at all you are giving money, you better go to your mother's place. He sends his wife to the mother's place. Then the next day again he asks his boy, earn something today and qualify yourself for a good meal today. Then mother is not there. Then what to be done? He goes weeping to his sister. And sister now gives him some money. Again 1 rupee. And the evening he presents it to his father very happily. Father says, throw it in the well. He throws it, comes back. Again, father recognized it. Yes, he did not earn it by his hard work. And so he threw it easily. And in the evening, he provided dinner to him, but that evening itself, his sister was sent to her sasural, in-law's place. Third day again he asked, go and earn something and qualify yourself to get a good meal. Having no place to approach for money, the son goes into the market. There he works hard and he carries a load. Then the fellow has given him 50 paisa coin. He was much pleased with the earning and he holds it, comes back home in the evening. With doubled happiness, he shows it to his father. Father, I earned 50 paisa today. And as usual he says, throw it to the well. The son said, no, whatever you feed me with, whatever you give as a food to me, I am not going to throw this money into the well. I earned it. I worked the whole day. Father could understand and immediately recognized, yes, beta, you have earned your food today. Recognition is a must. Teaching him is a must. There you should not have any affection, no sympathy, nothing. Learning is learning. Right? So this is what we learn through this short story, and which is mainly as a descriptive and conversational, both we have here. The dialogue is also there, and also we have the description over there, and in a very interesting manner it has been put, and we can see many devices have been used here, and ultimately this is an example, or we can put it as an example in our life. What is that one? We are to do our own things by ourselves. We should not depend on others for anything. Then how to do a thing? You copy it. Then when you are copying it, you use your brain. Simply because there is a fly over here, dead fly, let me kill a fly and put it here. Don't do such a thing. Use your brain, apply your abilities, and then copy it. Then it is your thing. So that is what we are learning. Now we are jumping into unit 3, where in this unit 3 we have been given a great things to learn. What are those great things to learn? We'll see in the unit 3.